Hello everyone! For today I have a small surprise as there's not gonna be a review. But have you ever been wondering what I actually have behind this chair? I mean on the right shelf behind me. I thought that showing my collection of physical formats would be a great idea, and I will gladly take care of it today. Fortunately my collection is small enough so I'm able today to show it. I know some people who have much bigger numbers of Voxes or CDs, and in this case it would be a little difficult to show it. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so we will begin from cassettes, cause I have only two ones. The first one is Kvadrat's app from 2021, and here is the cassette. And oddly enough, I began with something I didn't even buy, cause Ivan from the project actually sent me it. As he was late with my order for a week, but he decided that he would send me a bonus for this. I wouldn't expect a present after only 1 week delay, but it definitely was nice of him. Especially that these cassettes are officially sold out. The next one is Italian raw black metal Loom and their album I Racconti del Fallo. This is how it looks like. Pretty nice cover, gotta say. And obviously cassette. I bought this one and they sent me it in such nice pouch with logo. So it's highly appreciated. And that were all cassettes I have, so now let's move on to more interesting part, so CDs. And definitely the biggest part in this video. First we have Wormwood's latest album, His. Honestly, it's one of the best grind albums I've ever listened to. And I have it even signed, not by whole original squad, but gotta say those graphics underneath the CD are awesome. The next will be 3 albums from French death metal band Creeping Fear. Firstly, I will show them to the camera. It's the first one, second and third. I didn't actually buy them, the vocalist of the group gave me them. That night I was on a concert of my pal who has a band that plays melodic death thrash. They were touring together and I really loved both gigs, but I still didn't find time to listen to these albums. But anyway, Creeping Fear is a very solid band. The next is Interrupt Request by Master Brute Record, and I even have it signed, although it's barely visible. Now I think it's more visible. But it's definitely one of my favorite avant-garde electronic chiptune projects. Okay, this one is unpacked, but I have Obsidian Mantra's latest album. It's a Polish progressive death metal project. Their gig some time ago was absolutely awesome, and also I did get this CD for free. But if I'm recording a showcase of my CDs, then I think now it's a great time to unpack it. So give me a little. Okay, so it's time to unveil it. This is what it looks like inside. Okay, I actually forgot that I have those 2 CDs. I don't know these projects and I don't remember how I got those CDs. I'll check them later, but for more interested people, I'll let you take a closer look at both of them. And the second one. Now I have something I was showing pretty long time ago, as it's Hecaton Hearth's Nightmare Utopia. Absolutely amazing blackened death metal with some sludge elements. And it's my pulse project. Okay, so it's time for first more popular band in this video, so As I Lay Dying, and I have their album An Ocean Between Us. I got it from my dad and I gotta say I'm still a huge fan of this band. I don't listen to them really often, but I guess it's a sign that I have to return. Next is Orr's Cow first album. It's side black metal project of Guillaume Cazelet from Neptunian Maximalism. And I got it for free from Neptunian Maximalism at their gig in 2023 for pretty huge support, I would say. The next are White Ward's 2 albums, Love Exchange Failure and Futility Report. And I got them from my dad as well, as he had signed copies, so he gave me these ones. The next is Bloem by Flusterars. Back in the day it was one of my favorite Dutch bands, but I return to this album pretty often. Now we have Prognance Nasi Živote Visene Postoje, so easily my favorite album of 2023. One of the best progressive blacks I've ever heard. The next one is finally signed, as it's Czernina's latest album. Absolutely strong Polish black metal project, very similar to such bands like Toad Eater. And now it's time for my favorite Dark Souls metal band. it's the Inveterate Fire, and it's self-titled one, and obviously inside, and also this. And now I have much better story about shipping delays, as I have CDs of I lost certain side projects, Divine Element and Onfroton. The first is atmospheric black metal, while the second one is one of my favorite dungeon synth bands. And he sent me them in addition to Divine Elements t-shirt, as he was late with his order for a little more than a month. But I was really happy when I saw these CDs. This one turned out to be my favorite dungeon synth project. Now I have even better story. I thought that my pal was touring with Creeping Fear, but except that melodic death thrash band, he also has an avant-garde black metal project. I met him for the first time on that melodic death thrash band's gig, and yeah, the name of that band is Slaves of Imperium, while this project's name is Creature. And I told him there that I'm a huge fan of Creature, and he was obviously amazed. This one is entitled Ex Cathedra, and it's pretty nice album. And one of the best logos, honestly. And this one, definitely my favorite, is entitled Éloge d'Ombre, but this was truly amazing. Thank you, Ralph, again. And now there is Neptunian Maximalism Aeons. Obviously I have signatures. Here they're barely visible, but I don't know where they are all as well. And now I have Akhles Melino, also one of my favorite black metal albums back in the day. That's what it looks like underneath the cover. And I also have signatures. And the last one is Roots by Sepultura. I guess I don't have to explain, as everyone knows the band. This album was very solid. Now it's time for a wilder part. I mean vinyls, so give me a little. And it turns out that I have pretty decent number of LPs. I haven't been collecting for a long time, so that's why I'm amused. We will begin from a box set of Azog Trillium's Astra Constellations of Magical Zodiac. It's definitely one of my favorite black metal projects of all time. First disc front and back, the second one and back, and the last one. And here we have Priest's New Flesh, yeah, and I have an autograph. It's definitely one of my favorite synthpop projects. And in this case it won't be complicated to show disc. Pretty nice. And now it's time for Praise the Plug's Obsidian Gate. When it comes to LPs, I definitely have more signatures, and this time only black. And now it's time for Toad Eater's latest album entitled Bexed. Also, this art cover is absolutely beautiful, and if you are watching these guys right now, then cheers. I'm also pals with them, and I also have signatures, and this is the disc. This time white, and this is Stormkeep's Galdrum, signed as well. This pressing is absolutely beautiful, those black shades especially. Defacements Duality, also signed, who expected that. First press of this album absolutely slaps. Resin Sfarunincistina Profi Cultura. It is great piece of psychedelic folk black metal. But their newer album entitled Modra Veda is much more better. And I got both of these LPs in Crypt of the Wizard in London. If you ever go to London, then you definitely have to visit at least once Crypt of the Wizard. Next is Stormkeep's Tales of Other Time, and it's not signed because I have signed map of Elda above my head. This bloody pressing is awesome as well. I snapped this one at Crypt of the Wizard as well. It's Majesty's Vast Riches Unclaimed. Melodic death metal band that features members of Obsequiae, so pretty known Medvile black metal band. Another signed one, it's Gorge's app, whose name I don't remember, but it's one of my favorite dissonant black metal projects. They were playing before Defacement in 2023 in Poland, and now it's time for a really unexpected thing, as I have Patriarch's limited Wierzchalin LP, and you might be wondering why it's signed. And the disc has nice Thorncrown imitation, which is slightly visible, but you can spot the difference in this white. But it's not the last surprise. I also have Prophet Ilya. Inside it's absolutely beautiful, and it's probably the only transparent LP I have. But everything looks here beautifully. But you might be wondering where did I get it from? Because generally, if you think that getting such relics would be difficult, then you are right. But the answer is pretty simple. My uncle gave it to me because he doesn't have an LP player. My uncle is a Bard Spal, so now it becomes clearer why I'm in possession of such awesome relics. And if you are watching it, uncle, then thanks again. Now it's time for an LP with my favorite art cover, I think, and it's Zars Magicka Dżungla. I mean, just look at it, it's one of the best surly art covers. It's a band featuring members of Neptunian Maximalism, and I also have signatures inside. Now I have something more special, as I got it from my pal for Christmas. And it's not a band, but it's Orthodox core, more precisely Bulgarian Orthodox cores. I still haven't listened to this one because I had no time for running LPs, although I was over the moon when I got it. Thanks again. Now it's time for next presents from my uncle, and this time I'm holding Hypnosaurus Doomsday, and I still haven't listened to this one. I also just didn't have time. Uncle also gave me Steven Wilson's To the Bone. Inside this album is also great. I must admit I have never listened to Steven Wilson's solo project, although I really like Porcupine Tree. And the last one, also from my uncle, is Coming Out of band named Ukć. Polish people were telling that this name doesn't make any sense and it's just stupid and strange. But music is pretty nice, such kind of progressive avant-garde black metal. And disc as well, but it's actually not everything I prepared for today. There are 3 more things, because I also have some digipacks, or more precisely, I have only 2 digipacks. The first one is Wolfchant's Bloodwinter. Wolfchant is a German black and death metal band with some folk and power metal influences, and Bloodwinter is one of the most enjoyable albums I've ever heard, I think. But it's time to unveil the mystery. But before it turned out that in this box I also have Death's Leprosy. I guess this one doesn't need any depictions, so let's move on. Here it is. And CDs. And I also have autographs. The next digipack I have is Arson by Harakiri for the Sky. And the CD. I had to pull this one. And it turns out I also have autographs from the guys. And the last one for today is this. Also present from my uncle, and it is a book depicting history of Vader. So one of the most iconic bands in Polish death metal. I would even say the most iconic. But I wouldn't be talking about it right now if CDs weren't attached at the end of the book. And these are old Vader demos. And it is finally the end. Trust me, I'm really tired right now, and thanks God my collection isn't so big. Because if it was bigger, it would probably take additional hours to finish this video. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video, and see ya soon, I hope.